All right, well, welcome everybody to the May meeting of the Board of Directors. And let's see, let me get this screen shared. I did not send out the agenda, which really, there's a couple things I know that we'll all talk about when it gets to the individual officers, but other than that, there's no real specific thing other than to talk about, well, with no change that I can tell in our area for COVID and the health situation. Is there any objection to meeting in person or doing the hybrid in person next week?
I have no objection.
No objection. No.
All right,
That's great.
good deal.
Do it
Well-
both ways, or one way.
We can continue to try it both ways. I mean, we could try
Our
to do
speaker is
something a
Zoom,
little.
so
What now?
our speaker is Zoom, so we have to do it that way
Yeah.
this time.
Yeah. And honestly, I don't know, and I'll double check with some of you who are there. I thought it actually did well for the in-person aspect, with the speaker that Scott had set up and everything. I thought it worked very well. I know, even listening back to the recording, I can tell what Carolyn had mentioned, where you can't really, there were certain people, well, and even, I mean, I guess everybody, unless you were holding it completely perfectly up to your mouth directly, you couldn't really, it was hard to make out what everybody was saying and everything. So I don't know if there's anything we need to adjust. I've heard from a couple members who mentioned that they were going to try to come in person. So I don't know if that encouraged them to try to come in person, or if they're just feeling more comfortable now, or both. But
You can't
Well,
give the show away
What you
for
can
free.
do is as a speaker, give what the other people say
yeah,
when you have the microphone, to where it can be on the recording of
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially like
Lynn
on
Grice seconded the motion, or
Yeah.
Ham seconded the motion, or stuff like that, to where it'll
Yeah.
make it easier.
yeah, they'll take care of that problem if you just repeat the question
yeah,
or the answer as appropriate. Like if somebody asks a question, kind of summation of what he just asked.
yeah. Well, that's
like
the only
Joe-
reason I knew who made the motion of the minutes, and I knew that you had seconded it since I had repeated it. But even for some of the other announcements, if you go back, it's kind of hard to make out what people are saying. But I don't know. It's not. It could
We
be
just have
worse.
to make sure we get them the microphone.
Yeah.
That's the way you normally do it in meetings. I went back to listen to some other meetings that we've been Zoom, they're not here, but that I've been associated with. And that's basically what happens on a Zoom and an in-person thing, that people repeat the question. So that, if you're recording it, you pick it up. Or if the answer, so the person taking the minutes can pick it up, I guess. I always wondered why they did that.
Well, I know technically that's proper parliamentary procedure anyway, to re-announce the decision or the motion or who made the motion. And I guess kind of like this is the prime example. It gets everybody, it makes sure everybody's on the same page with what
Yeah.
happened. So speaking of the meeting and programs, Joe, do you want to go on and mention and let everybody know what, and I think you emailed something to everybody, or you may have emailed just.
No, I think I just emailed it to you.
Okay.
I spoke with Joe St. Columbia in Helena, and he has done a bonding grounding for mobiles that he's talked to Tar Heel people about, and he's going to go over how he did his truck. He has a Ram truck, how he did it, plus how you do a truck is harder to do than a car. And he said he was going to go over a car as well as a truck about grounding particularly for HF radio, but it can be for VHF as well.
That sounds like a good program. because these cars are becoming more and more plastic. And I wonder is there going to be a lot of interference when they become electric cars and trucks?
Don't know.
That's a good
That's
question.
going to be a good one because they're really pushing electric.
Yeah.
I know the Toyota Prius must not be because WB4 APR had a Prius that ran solar only, and he had radios in it.
Okay.
But then again, he probably shielded it and put diodes and everything in to.
He might have had to do something to it. That'd be an interesting question to ask him.
You can't ask him. He's 6 foot under.
He didn't repeat the question.
Oh,
Who's the presenter again, Mr. Joe?
The presenter is Joe St. Columbia. I'll send you an N5 MIG, Mike India Golf. He is a life member of Delta Club. He was in the club in the 90s.
Thank you.
And it's bonding / grounding of mobiles. But I'll send it to you, Mike.
All right, thank you.
With the program director of programs, what does anybody here have any ideas of who we might get to fill that?
I went through the list. Jeff Breyer, KX4LO. He only attended 1 or 2 meetings last year, but he's attended one. He was in person this last meeting. Didn't know if he might do it or not, but I can ask him.
How about Ian?
I guess we could ask, but the way it seemed like he had so much going on that,
He's got graduate school going on
Yeah.
now.
He did such a great job.
yeah.
Heck, that just helps him with graduate school. He's just add something else to his plate.
Right.
Oh, I know. Well, that's a pretty good. That's a good idea. I don't know. Are there any other ideas? Because I didn't know. Even I mean, he's newer, but even Jason, John's backdoor neighbor, if that's something, I haven't gone to look to see how many meetings he's attended, but I
Not
didn't know
many.
about
He's
him.
been on Zoom mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A lot of people have.
I can talk to him. I don't know what kind of bandwidth he has.
Yeah.
My Elmer, Dave Church.
I've asked him before and he's going to decline.
You want me to ask him?
Yeah, yeah. Twist his arm.
Tell him it's only 6 more months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
1 hour
and the
a
thing
week.
is that we've got, we're getting into the part of the year where one could easily be devoted like we normally do for field day prep. And then of course, November is election. So that'd be something short. December, hopefully we'll be back at the point where we can do the potluck. So I mean, there's really not many meetings
And
left.
we're more than happy to help out.
Mhm.
So we're really looking for one for next year too,
Yeah.
hopefully.
Yeah, that too. So, okay. Well, I guess if y'all want to kind of talk to those folks and fill it out, and then we can see who may be interested and kind of go from there. Like Joe said, we can certainly help out anybody who may not feel comfortable like doing a presentation. Then we can certainly try to help them get in touch with some folks who would be willing to do presentations. So, or they may want to talk about something they specialize in. So, all right. Well, Barry, you started talking about it a minute ago, but since we've had a couple more folks join us, will you give us an update in your realm?
Um, Well, I don't have a whole lot of updates except they are working on it. I have to depend on other people to let me know when Channel 30 is off the air, because that's when I know they're actually working on it. And they are actually totally replacing the whole hard line. It's a little bit smaller, but I don't care. I mean, it's all this very expensive stuff. Anyway, we are replacing all of it, and like I say, 1,000 feet, that's a lot to do. And I went out there Friday, and the gates were locked, so I did not go in. Just trying to get some idea as to the progress. So I don't know how far along they are. I have not been able to talk to anybody. So, that's pretty much all I got. I would like to know how the repeater's been doing though.
I'd say it's been doing fairly well. I've been on most nights. Barry was somewhat a little bit, well, she was a little bit better when she read the preamble. She was better, and then it got scratchier. But I think it's her location.
Well,
Yeah.
It was windy that day too.
This is last night I was talking about.
Oh, well, yeah, last Wednesday.
I think it's doing better. I don't know if maybe they've pushed the old one together better so it doesn't leak out so much RF.
I doubt that, but I mean, I would like to know, if the station is on the air or not. When it sounds good and when it's bad.
When it's off the air, it seems to be quite, the
Uh,
repeater seems to be quite nice.
Barry,
Yeah.
the repeater, they were off the air last week on their face page. They actually stated that they're doing an upgrade. They said they're going to be off for like 48 to 72 hours. And that was last week. Because, but I noticed that when they came back online, their picture is much improved. So their video picture is much improved compared to what it was. Only reason I watch Big Bang on 30 at 6:30 every night. So
Yeah. But that's what I need to know is the people that are picking it up off the air.
so you might want to check. And I'm not on Facebook, but I just went on Facebook and see if there was any activity, because and that's what they told me about being off the air. So you might want to just check
Okay.
have any updates on their Facebook page.
All right, great.
The weekend before last they were off the air totally all weekend.
Yeah. Well, if you used to see how much they had to do, you would understand why.
Right.
I mean, you're talking 1,000 feet of hard line, and I mean, what they had in there was 18-inch, and what they're putting in is a little bit smaller, but it's still hard line, and that's a lot of work.
I wouldn't be surprised if that's all it could get.
Yeah, but what they're doing is putting that in, and then I'm sure they will switch it over. They will somehow, channel it over to that new stuff, if they haven't already done it. I just don't know.
And probably pull down the old stuff.
I don't know if they will or not. That's a lot of work too.
Yeah.
What are you
How
gonna
much
do with
money
it?
is that copper?
Yeah, they get some of their money back, but how are you gonna roll it up and get it out of there?
Oh, you don't roll this up. It's hard line. This is pipe.
So you'd have to put it back on the truck that the other came loose.
Yeah. So
Actually, they would probably get a dealer who has already sold it, and a truck will come in, they'll put it on the truck and ship it off to the destination without it even going into a yard.
Yeah, I still think probably the cost of the men taking it down is more than what they'll get for the wire.
well, yeah, it just depends. I mean, they're already on the tower. What the heck?
It comes down a lot quicker than going up.
Yeah,
Oh, heck, the guys may take it down for themselves. Split the money.
well, it's 18-inch hard line. And if you can imagine 18-inch, that's big.
Yeah, well,
huge.
we've seen it going up.
Yeah.
Isn't that one of the places that are broken right at our antenna? That arcs?
At least two places I know of.
Yeah, but I mean, that right near our antenna, isn't that what you're talking about, where that was arcing?
And there was one break around 350 foot mark, 400 foot mark,
Mhm.
and one just above our antenna at 500, I'd say 550 foot. And that's the one I think was really causing us our headaches. But anyway, hopefully it's done.
We're gonna be done.
Yeah.
Gonna be.
All the equipment was still there, huh?
As far as I know, yes.
Well, I
Last I,
just I shared the link to the Facebook page where they posted the what he was saying about the service being down.
And I just checked and they're back on the air.
Okay.
they are,
Yep, they are on the air. But
okay,
I have a TV here that's connected to an antenna.
thank you.
Mhm.
Well,
And Big Bang Theory is playing.
y'all keep me posted as to what the repeater's doing, because if that doesn't do it, I don't know what else will.
All right. Well, thank you for the update. Hopefully, it sounds like they're getting close, but hopefully not, like you said, not much longer. Lynn, do you have anything?
Nothing but field days coming up. Yes, Michelle will be meeting pretty soon to kind of start outlining plans. I don't know, since the fire chief is now retired, I wonder what that's gonna mean for the fire department paying for parks and stuff.
So that they normally pay for that part of it.
Well, no, they didn't pay for it. It's just that the city groups do not pay the park department for use of a facility.
And so they
So-
were reserving it, or
Yeah, they
Jelly
reserved, in other
was
words,
getting
the
it.
fire
and-
department reserved it.
Yeah,
And with
Jelly,
Jelly being there, Jelly can talk to the new fire chief, whoever it is. I mean, he's
Hopefully
only
it'll
been
be-
there, what, 46 years?
Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, the fire chief's coming out here to Collierville.
He is. Selberg is the fire chief in Collierville now.
yeah, he is retired. He's retiring from Germantown, like Joe says, after 46 years. What was it you said? He was a volunteer fireman in high school?
Yeah, he and Jelly and several others were volunteer firemen when they were in high school. And when the fire bell rang, school stopped for them. They ran to the fire station and got to the fire truck to go, because back then the adult volunteers all worked in Memphis.
Huh.
And they didn't have enough volunteer. They might have had one driver.
Yeah, that's the way it was out here in Collierville. When, we had a whistle or siren that would go off on the water tower. And when it did, certain people in high school would jump up and leave, and I've worked with a bunch of them, let me tell you. And matter of fact, one of them wound up being our fire chief for a while. But yeah, it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, so now, he's retired here, then going out there, y'all getting a good chief. I mean, he built the ambulance service here also.
Yeah, we definitely need that.
And that's what y'all are getting too.
We're getting 5 ambulances.
Well, he put it together and made it work out here.
Works for me.
Yeah, but I still wonder who they're gonna make chief, because he was real good to us. But that's because of his relationship with Jelly.
I'll find out more in the morning of tomorrow. I've got my retired fireman's breakfast, which we have every couple of weeks. And that'll be tomorrow. And I'll get a little more details usually.
Yeah. See who's gonna be the next chief. That's what we need to know.
Well, for Germantown, I don't know.
No, but I bet the Germantown chief that's coming to your place got an idea who's it gonna be.
Yeah, probably so. Let me tell you, there's a lot of scuttlebutt that goes on, and
Yeah,
that's
it's a lot of politics.
find out at this breakfast.
Yeah.
But
All
I think we're set for this year, so we're in good shape.
right. Good deal. Carolyn?
Okay, so we have 2 new membership applications. We have Dave Cardoza, CM4 CFO, Chief Financial Officer. He's an extra. And we have Ray Cole, KX5 RC, extra as well. So do we have a motion to accept these?
So moved.
All right, we got a motion by Joe. I've got Lynn with the second. All in
Okay.
favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed, no.
First one's call sign was what?
Okay, KM4 CFO, Chief
TFO,
Financial, CFO, yes, Charlie Frank Oscar.
Okay.
Yeah, I think his wife was also on that, Tanya.
Oh, yes, you're right. Yes, Tonya,
Yeah, she's also
W4
on.
NE10, NET. W4 NET. Yeah,
Where's the guy, the
That's family.
CFO, the chief financial officer?
that's him. I KM4 CFO. I just, it's just making fun.
Oh.
All right.
Sorry about that.
Anything else on your end, Carolyn?
No, that's it. Thank you.
Jim?
All right, so we had a pretty good month, kind of quiet, but we had those 2 membership renewals for, we took in $45 for those 2 members or memberships. And then Joe cleaned up at Free Fest with $2,215 coming in from sales there. So we had a total of $2,260 in deposits. The only payment that we had was the reimbursement for the Zoom subscription. And I did write a check to Scott, but I don't think he's cashed it yet. It's just as bad as my daughter setting checks aside and not cashing them.
I didn't cash it yet.
So maybe that'll show up next month. So we started the month with in our checking with $21,433.94 with our deposits and checks. We ended the month with $23,497.43. Any questions?
Scott?
Oh,
Yes. Let me see if I can find that check. I could have sworn I deposited it. So I'll check on that. Any snacks for the upcoming meeting? I'll have to get some new drinks. I'm probably going to throw out the drinks I have, and I'll get some new fresh drinks. Coke, Diet Coke, Sprite, just due to the age. Anything, I mean, the mic,
Pepsi's been cheaper lately than Diet Coke
well,
at Costco.
I bought the plastic ones. I like the plastic ones, but I just got a few just because I didn't know how we were going to do the meetings, and I didn't want to get stuck with a case or a 36 pack of Diet Coke that was going to expire. So, but it looks like we're going to have meetings going forward, so I'll continue on like I've done before. On the mic question about using the microphone, just that anyone that uses the mic needs to make sure that they speak into it. And then we might just need to caution them or tell them to speak into it.
Stick 2 inches from the microphone.
About a half an inch.
Eat the microphone.
Eat the mic.
Yeah.
Joe, you need to be in charge of making that announcement when they're not talking loud enough. Because I hear you do that enough on the way up.
Yeah, they should rest it on their chin right here.
Well, we could get a fuzzy thing. Where can we find
That could be a program, how to use the microphone.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that's a good. Oh,
Well, besides that, I don't have anything else. So,
yeah.
but I'll check into the check. But I could have sworn I did. So,
I had Pepsi's at Costco for $11.49 for 36 cans.
for Pepsi, Diet Pepsi.
Diet Pepsi.
I
And
kind of like
it was
Diet Coke.
also Pepsi.
I'll have to check and see. I'm making a Sam's run probably tomorrow or Thursday. So
If you want me to pick it up at Costco, I'll be glad to.
sure, go ahead and pick up the Diet Pepsi. That'll be fine.
Okay.
And we'll do Diet Pepsi.
All right, I'll bring the checkbook.
So
I love that I can write checks now.
you can. Well, I'll look and see what that check is.
All right, well, good deal. Thank you for doing that. Hopefully, like you kind of referenced, now that we're getting back into a routine, it'll be easier for those purchases and everything. So, all right, John.
I don't have a lot to report. I'm going to be spending a lot of focus on field day. Really trying to include as many new hams as we can in that, and that's really where my attention will be, trying to get more people more active. I think it's a good opportunity to showcase the different things that we do. So that's what I'm focused on right now.
Sounds good. All right, Joe.
The Free Fest email came out that they reported $4,801 in ticket sales and $1,192 in concession sales, with 371 hams in attendance. So that I don't know, it's probably $200 or $300 in the hole, $300 or $400 in the hole for the rental of the building. But 4,800 for the ticket sales, I thought was a pretty good amount, considering it was just because before it was like 5,600 was the most that they'd have ever done. So 4,800, I don't think is too bad.
Yeah.
Training, don't have anything going right now. Haven't gotten any more than the 9 hams out of the class that we just finished, Tech Class 2-22. Most likely we'll have a class starting late June or early July. I just haven't gotten around to looking at the calendar and seeing what we can come up with and what dates. I have gotten, I sent an inquiry to Klein Tours, and they sent me a quote back of 30. Let me share it, screen shared. Let me see if I can get it screen share and. Okay, can you see over on the, towards the right-hand side? At the top, I did some predictions. The bus fare is $2,337 this year. I asked them to reduce it to 2,000, and they said they couldn't do it because the diesel fuel, they said, is at $5.50 and is projected to go up to $6 a gallon or more. And then also the Hamfest, the tickets have gone up to $12 if you get them before June the 30th and $15 after that. So we have to figure on $15 tickets. I figured $100 on the driver tip, $12 on ice, and some bananas for $5, and then chips, $50 on chips, and then the sodas considered figure $1.60 on the drinks a person, and $5 for the biscuits, and $15 for the tickets, to where if you go up to the top, I figure $80 for early payment. And I'm thinking that maybe June the 30th is, make that the early payment, and after that $95. And the $60 that I have, it won't, trying to enlarge it, but it goes off screen for me. Let me see what I can do. Is that better for y'all? Okay, the $60 is if a spouse, a second person in the family comes along. Last year it was $50. We only have one or two at the most, but I've on income, I figured 20 would prepay and 9 would be in $95 with one $60, to where we'd lose $637. Then if we had 33 people, I figured 22 early pay, 10 at, you know what? I'm wrong. I have 90 instead of 95. So that would cut it down to $446. Then on 36 people, $25 prepay and 10 with 95 would be 271 in the hole. And at 40, I had 25 prepay at $80 and then 13 at 95, which is probably unrealistic. I would figure probably more than, like, let's change it to 30. 30 pay the $80 and hold on. The $80 and 5 the 95. And then this would be 30 the $80 and let's see, for 40, go down to 8. So we'd have to have 40 people on the bus, and we haven't had 40 people in a number of years. So I guess the question is, do you want to go with $80 or do we have to go up to 85?
So because we're looking at roughly 2,500 or a little over, correct?
What do you mean 2,500?
For the total trip cost?
No, expenses 3152.
Okay.
On 30 people, it'd be $637 in the whole. And if we went up to $85, it would only be 400. It'd be 480 in the whole.
So about $150 less.
Yeah. And what we can do is see if we have people prepaid by June the 30th, if not canceled.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no sense in losing $700 or $800. I don't think, if people are not going to go.
Yeah.
On an $85, it's costing them $70 because they're going to, I guess we could say if you want to buy your ticket in advance for $12, but is it worth that hassle? You know,
Yeah.
with them having the ticket and having to do all that paperwork
Yeah.
to see who has the ticket and who doesn't.
The only thing I could think of, unless we did like a bulk ticket order, one at their cutoff date and then one the day of. But if I would almost think that for the $3 that would be too much hassle to deal with too.
I mean, we could buy 20 tickets, but that's only saving us $60.
Yeah.
You're gonna lose money any way you look at it.
Yeah. How many went last year, did you say?
Last year, hold on. Actually, 20 rode on the bus. I think 27 paid.
Do you remember the year before? Or 2019?
27. 2018, 28. And that was paid. I don't know if they actually rode, but they had paid and.
Yeah. So we're really looking around 30.
Yeah.
Probably. I mean, I didn't think it was more than that, but
I'd say we're looking at least 25. With the numbers
Yeah.
having been what they were.
I hate to go up to $100 for the people that are late, but because that's psychological between 90 and 100.
Yeah. And a lot of people don't, they're on a fixed income that go.
we did what was the ticket price last year? Was it
$10.
or no, I'm sorry, not the ticket, but the bus ride last year, was it 75 and then 80?
Yeah. 75 and then I think 85.
I don't know. I mean, part of me wants to say we should keep it as low as we can to make it as affordable as we can. But I mean, like everything else that's been going on, I mean, there is only so much that all these prices increases can be bared before we have to pass it on. And so, I mean, I don't think there should be any, I don't see any issue with raising the ticket price to even 85 for prepay, because I mean, in my opinion, it's still, considering the ticket prices have even gone up. I still think that's a good idea. and a good deal, but I mean, we could keep it lower, and even if we were out 600, I mean, maybe that could be something where we just say, I mean, we've done very well. And you've been working hard with the consignment stuff. And so, I mean, I know we've made enough money in other areas to kind of buffer that as a service to the club members, but
Yeah, but the club members really haven't come through buying the equipment,
that's true too.
you know. I don't know, maybe, you know, I've worked awfully hard for that $2,215.
Yeah.
That's for sure. Yeah.
And I hate to just, you know, particularly for people that are not club members.
Yeah.
I mean, we haven't had a surcharge or anything on non-club members.
Yeah.
And when we've had a few non-members go over the years.
With everything going up, I mean, would it be an issue to even start at 85? Would that help us any at all?
Well, we'll
150 bucks.
see.
Because I mean, if that would be a $10 increase, I mean, 3 of that alone is the ticket, or no, more
Well,
more than
you've
that,
got-
5.
You've got your food has gone up and
Drink.
the food, the hamburgers have gone up $1.
Mhm.
So that's $4. And then gas has gone, diesel fuel's gone up.
Doubled.
And what is it going to cost them if they drive themselves?
Yeah.
And parking.
Yeah, that too.
Ease of parking at the back door is just wonderful. And you can buy anything you want because you can probably get it on that bus where you can't get everything in your car.
That's a good point.
I'm working the numbers.
While you're doing that, could you drag that screen over or tab over?
Hold on. I don't want to go too far because then I lose my formula.
Yeah. Well, while he's looking at the math, I mean, what do y'all what do y'all think? I mean, would it be reasonable to ask for, I mean, I know we obviously need to go up a little bit, but would it be reasonable to even ask for 85 or?
I don't think there's much difference between 80 and 85. Now, to some people it would, and I'm thinking that you're only going to save another $150, which would be $450 instead of $600 loss.
Yeah.
So you just
It's still such a bargain at that cost.
Yeah, it's a loss. Anytime you're getting something that it for less than making a profit, you're making money, you know, you're getting a bargain. Everybody that's going on the bus is being well, heck, I'm trying to think. They're getting extra money.
Yeah.
Supplemented, that's the word I'm looking for.
Mm.
Whatever the $450 breakdown for ever how many people it is, another $10 probably a person.
I mean, at 40 people, it's $84.20 a person, the way it works.
We hadn't seen that many in Lord knows when.
No, we
And
haven't.
it's $60, you're even supplementing that one person, you know, the spouse going, but
Yeah,
we don't have that many going. So I feel like if they're going, let them go for $60.
Yeah.
you know, 2 people going, it makes it a little bit cheaper in the car. But the energy effort having to drive home after Ham Fest being up on your feet all day is something also different.
Mm-hmm. That's true.
I think what we need to do is take an actual poll and find out who is willing to pay $85 to go.
Well, you don't want to let people know how much well, I don't mean that. We've been very kind of quiet on what we lose in taking the bus down there. Or do we tell them they're going to lose $600 by taking the bus this year at $85 or $80? What do y'all want to do?
Well, what I thought we'd do is find out how many people are willing to go this
Well,
year.
just ask that question. How many
Yeah,
people are willing to
and
go?
literally
That's a good
take a head count
Mhm.
Yeah,
and see
start
what
there. Like, well, you do that every year. You ask how many want to go, and it's going to cost $85. Let me see a head count. And
Well, we haven't written it down though. And usually by the May meeting, we're actually taking checks.
Yeah.
But what we can do is if we don't get enough, we can cancel it by the 30th of June or the 15th of July. Because that's 5 weeks ahead.
do we have to put a down payment
No,
on the contract? Okay,
no, I've asked for no down payment.
okay.
We haven't had a down payment ever.
Well, I know that. I just didn't know whether we had to pay that. So most places you do. So,
Yeah, they normally, it was like $185 they were wanting,
no,
But-
that's.
but we haven't had to do a down payment for ages. I mean,
Well, they know
forever.
we're good for it.
Yeah.
Well, that or give them enough time in advance to where they don't have it scheduled.
Yeah. I think that's gonna be the best thing is just look and see how many people we can actually get money from or a commitment for money at $85. And if we don't get it, we return the checks.
What I can do is send an email out to all the ones that have gone in recent years and say, it looks like $85. Are you willing to pay up by, June the 1st?
Yeah.
Do you have numbers on how many paid early versus how many paid late for last year on hand?
I think it was about 22 that paid early. 22, 23. Hold on, I can bring it up.
But one of those was a $60 one, wasn't it?
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
Do you mostly have repeat riders or do you have a fair number of new hams?
we have a few new ones. A lot of them are repeat.
Hmm.
Uh,
Well, you do have new hands because they're excited to go down to something like this.
Hmm. Because I was wondering what the ratio was, because if they're new, then they don't have experience paying a lower price, so.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, but they're also the new hams a lot of times are the ones that can least afford it.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's
So they
true.
got to buy equipment and
Well, that's.
we had 30 people that paid and 21 went on the bus.
Okay.
And hold on a second, I can tell you. Let me do a sort and I can tell you because I have the dates.
Well, I guess,
Um, early paid in June. '23 were by June the 30th.
so that'll probably be what it'll be this year too. I bet you, I just think you have quite a few that go ahead and prepay, but it always is the last minute till you get up to that magic 30 or whatever that you got a number that you try to get up to.
Are we? I mean, I know we'll have another board meeting between now and then, but I guess just a rough estimate from you all. I know if we take a poll to see who all is interested, and it seems like there's enough who are interested in going. I mean, how much, like kind of what Joe was getting at earlier, how much are we willing to be in the negative? Are we okay with $500, $550, $600?
It's
Or-
been, hadn't it been about $500 every year, Joe, somewhere
No,
around
we,
there?
we about broke even last year.
I know that's the first time we about broke even. What have we done other years? It's cost us.
No, hold on, let me,
Yeah.
Because I was
remember.
thinking I was thinking it was around 200 or 300.
Yeah, I think you're
All of
right.
those.
It's still $300, so it's like doubling.
hold on.
Last year, I remember that, we almost broke even, and then that's the first time since I've been a member that we've done that.
Last year, we collected 2160. Well, hold on.
Last year, we know we about made it. It's the year before and the year before.
2,231.30 was the expenses. And since we didn't have to pay for some of the food and the entry fee, it got to where it was, I believe,
Why didn't we have to pay for the entry fee?
we did not. That's what I was saying. No food and no entry fee helped make it to where we got to break even.
Why did we not have to pay for the entry fee?
Because only 21 out of the 30 people actually went.
But 21 people had to pay the entry fee.
Yeah,
Oh, but from the 9 people that didn't go, okay. you didn't
Right.
have to pay. Okay.
that was $90, and then another,
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I thought you were saying blanket, we didn't have to pay for an entry fee or for
No.
food. It's for those that didn't go, we didn't have to pay that.
right.
What about the year before?
Hold on, let me. I think $420.
Okay, well, they're in the whole $420. So at 85 will be 450.
Okay.
And I think that'll hold pretty, it may have been a year there that it, Mary
Let me
Jean,
see
that
what
it was,
17 did.
there was a couple of hundred, but I thought it was around 500 several years. Because I remember Ken having that conversation when he was president. Or having this conversation, do we want to lose?
258 in 17.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's always been $500 or less,
Fortunately,
fortunately, yeah.
let's see what 16 did.
But every member has an opportunity to go on the bus trip. It's not like we're limiting it. And there's
Yeah.
been plenty of room.
Mm-hmm.
$76.16,
How much?
$77.16 we lost.
Okay.
Okay. Well, yeah, we can take a show of hands and see. So do you want to go back and present it as a $80 early bird price, or do you want to start at the 85?
I'd like to go ahead and 85.
I agree with you.
Let's see how many
Yeah,
people
yeah.
are willing to
Pay
to
85.
commit. With everything going on, it might be a lot of pent up people wanting to go to a ham fest since,
Mm-hmm.
Go someplace.
you know, some people probably aren't going to Dayton.
Yeah, that's true. All right. Well, cool. Thank you for taking all the time you took to come up with that. I mean, not only this year, but every other year.
He
So,
puts a lot of hard work into this to save
Oh,
money.
yeah. That's for sure.
I'll put an email out to a lot of the people that have gone to see if they're willing to or wanting to go to Huntsville, and if they'll commit by June the 30th.
sounds good. Well, I know I will.
Hey, Joe.
Unless
mark
there's
me down.
something crazy going on, I expect to. So,
Joe, you can go ahead and mark me down.
yeah. I know, well, and we talk about this from time to time. I know I've been trying to talk it up to a lot of our new members every now and then when we've seen them. And I know I've heard quite a few of y'all and some of our other members talking up the Huntsville bus trip. So hopefully with everything that's going on too, we can get some new members going and everything else to see what we can do to get a decent group going. So.
Yep.
Great.
I did not check on the biscuits, but I put in $5 a biscuit instead of, I think it was $3.75 before, so
Yeah.
it might be $6 for biscuits.
Go to McDonald's. They're $2 for $1 a piece.
You can go to McDonald's. I don't want to go.
Yeah,
I'll go to Burger
not too
King.
healthy.
All right.
Get you some of those at Costco. Those are good biscuits. Warm them up in the microwave before you come. Or have somebody do that. Those are good biscuits.
Warming up 60, 80 biscuits takes some time.
Put them on the manifold of the bus. That warm them up.
Anyway,
I got a question, but it hasn't related to this. Jim, you got a minute? Do I mind if I hop in and ask a question?
Sure, go ahead.
Go for it.
I'm looking back at your emails and I see I see the March, but on the checking account, it says February. Do you have the March checking?
Yes, but not up in front of me. It's on the laptop for the club.
Okay. Well, I mean, I look back at your email and I'm just looking back in my emails, and the only thing I found was for the March was actually February and not actually March. So
What I sent in April, because
what you sent in April was April 1st to April 29th, which is fine, but I don't see March's summary.
okay.
Now, the only reason I'm bringing that up is because actually my bank says that I deposited the check, mobile banking, on the 11th. So it was added to my account on 3/11/22.
Wait a second, I'm talking about the check from our April meeting. I wrote you a check.
Yeah, that's not what you're talking about?
Yeah, I'm talking about the April check.
Oh, April check?
Yep.
How much was that?
Hold on a second.
176 something.
No, it wasn't that much.
That was the month that was $7,828.
Oh, here it is. I have it. Never mind. I'll deposit it tonight.
So how much was it for? Everybody wants, I'm just kidding.
$27.39.
Oh, big spender.
Yeah, that is a public information officer there.
Goodness.
I'll
That's
take
just
care of
joking. That's just joking. Scott knows that.
it. So $27.39.
Good
All right.
deal.
It'll be in Sparks.
All right. Well, I know Mike's going to have something to dive into a little bit. Before we get to Mike, does anybody else have anything they want to talk about now or bring up now? All right, Mike, it's all you.
All right, so I have already been working on Spark, so everything that's been sent to me, I've already updated for the May edition. I am going to try to get it out Saturday this month, just because Mother's Day is Sunday, and I can't guarantee that I'll be able to work on it Sunday. So if you can, get me your information as soon as possible, I greatly appreciate it, and I'll try to have something out for the directors to review Friday night, and then I'll try to have it published by Saturday night. So the second thing is I've been going through and doing some data analysis on our emails that are in MailChimp, and I've been keeping up with some statistics for all of 2022. I get statistics on all of the opened emails that we sent out. So we are currently sending out 661 emails in a batch. I have found that in 2022, there have been 137 subscriptions that have not had a single open, and that are 137 subscriptions that have not opened an email in 2022. I've also found that there are 37 members on our master roster that are not on the Sparks email either. So I guess I would be asking for approval to remove the 137 subscriptions that haven't opened in 2022, and then add the 37 members back in for a net reduction of 100 emails, which would put us around 561 emails that we would send out per month. And so, I'm just trying to do.
Mike, could you send me the list of the ones that have bounced or that have not been opened
Yes, sir.
so I could review them? I'd like to do that.
Yep, I can see. So what I did, I created a pivot table that shows who's in the MailChimp subscription list, who's on the master roster, and then the emails, because we sent, the January, February, March, and April email. And then we also sent the Free Fest email. So 5 emails have gone out so far this year.
Mike, something else too that may happen is, like, I read the first one you send out most times, for comments, but I may not open the final one that you have because I've already read it. So I'm just wondering if other people, like on the director's officers thing, might be doing the same thing.
So can you go over that scenario one more time, Lynn?
Okay, you send an email out to everyone to prove. All
Yes,
the
but that's not through MailChimp. That's just through my Gmail. So
I know,
that one
but-
doesn't count.
I realize that, but then I may not open the MailChimp email because I've already read what's in there.
Right,
So
but you
I
would
would
have to
go-
open the MailChimp to get the link to the meeting though, right?
No. I don't know about that.
Well, I'm not advocating for removing anyone on the member roster. That would be,
I'm just wondering, you know, that's not that many, but I just know that I don't always open the final email that you send out through MailChimp because I've already read, you know, what you've had.
right, yeah, but yeah, that was so, you know, yeah, the criteria would be, you know, not on the master roster and no email opens in 2022. So you would be on our master roster, so I would
Yeah.
not be removing you in that case.
Okay, all right, yeah, I just didn't, of course, if I get removed, I can always say, hey, I'm not getting the email. when you
Yeah.
get-
Yeah, like I get every month. Not from you, but from someone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
So reading it.
Mhm. Well, and one thing Mike mentioned to me, because he's been working on this for a couple months now, trying to kind of work on these lists and everything, was getting far enough into the year where we could see multiple months of who's open, who's not, and so I don't know. So since it's been kind of brought up in the board meeting now, what would you guys think if we just did kind of a general reminder at the club meeting to see, you know, hey, if you're not getting sparks, or please, you know, make sure that the sparks is not going into your spam folder. You know, if you're not getting them, please email Mike or let us know, or something like that. Kind of one last general reminder for people to look and check. Of course, the other side of that is that if they're on Zoom, I mean, they may be getting it through the website or on Facebook or something, but most of these folks should be clicking through that email. So,
Yeah.
'cause
So,
I don't think we're not getting, but what about, how many clicks are we getting? Do you know?
and I would say, well, hold on, I have that information. I can tell you that.
In technology, great, you know who's reading it. and-
So
Big Brother's watching.
MailChimp does have the functionality.
All we got to do is have the cameras on the computers.
Okay,
to see their
so-
expressions.
Anywhere from looks like the Free Fest, we had 235 clicks on that email. But every month we're getting, looks like around the 325 to 375.
That's pretty good readership.
Out of
Mhm.
661. So, you know, around 50%, I would say.
That's pretty good readership.
So, and MailChimp does have the functionality that if this is forwarded to someone else and they open it, then that does count as an open. It doesn't show who forwarded it, but it does show if it was opened, if someone else opens it.
Okay. On the email list that you've got, is it just the email addresses, or is it names with emails that for the emails that might be cut?
I have what 3 fields would be the email address, first and last name.
Yeah,
There's some other data, but you know, there's a lot of call signs that are not populated, so that's really not a very reliable field. But you know, it's first name, last name, and email address.
Well, I know Joe mentioned it, but would you mind just forwarding that list of what you got to the board? Because I mean, some may, I guess, well, have you been able to look to see if there's any silent keys on there? or,
Well, I don't have that information, so
Okay.
not really. That would be my next question of leading into, what do we use for roster maintenance, I guess? And, do we have a means to identify silent keys, to remove them, or whatever is necessary, I guess? Because, MailChimp does have an unsubscribe feature, just like most emails do. So we do get 1 or 2 unsubscribes a month usually. So, and that would probably be the question I would ask about adding the 37 members that are not on the MailChimp list, is maybe they unsubscribed. And so I don't know if we would want to necessarily just resubscribe them without their permission, maybe. I could send an email through my personal email to those 37 people and say, hey, you're not on the MailChimp roster. Do you want me to add you? And then if they come back and say yes, then we can do that, of course.
You
that's a
might
very
wanna
good
say-
point.
You may want to say you're not on our email mailing list, our email list.
Right.
Parks. Would
Right.
you like to be in it? Because they're not going to know what MailChimp is.
Right. I
Yeah.
agree with you, Lynn.
Yeah, that's a good point to check. I mean, I know it adds an extra step in, but that's the last
mean,
thing we
yeah.
want to do is add somebody that just unsubscribed.
Exactly right. Yeah, you're going to get it whether you want it or not.
Oh, man.
Does MailChimp tell you when they unsubscribed?
No.
Ooh. Then you could very easily do that.
Yeah, because the MailChimp only keeps about 3 to 4 months of statistics. So that's, I really started keeping up with the statistics a couple of months ago. And so that's why I can't go back and give more. They're not active. So if the board decides that we want to gather more data, then it will be more time that we would have to use the data going forward, not data going backward.
All right. Well, I think you've used pretty good data, because it's giving you a good idea of what's going on. You got 50% readership and which is good, but if you really want to start pushing it up, ask why they're not reading Sparks.
Yeah.
Those other 50% that are not opening, they may be just a month they don't open it up, or they may be reading it from the website. Like
I
you
would think
say.
so. Yeah.
Okay. Because I know a lot of people have a lot of trouble with PDS, but they can go to the website and open it up. I know for a while there, I was having to go to the website to open it up for some reason. My computer was just being hard-headed.
Yeah. They like to do that.
Yeah. So I think that's a good idea. Let Joe look down the list to see who's on there, and probably ask those 37 that we noticed that they are not on the mailing list. And would they like to continue receiving Sparks or not?
Yeah. So what I can do is, I can put together an Excel file that shows the emails targeted for removal, and then the emails that are targeted, or members that are not subscribed. I can provide that to the board, and then we can review that and then give some feedback next month. Because I'll have a whole nother month of statistics to share by the next board meeting.
Yeah.
I bet we got a lot of people that don't even live in town that may, or did live in town and then moved away, that have been on the list.
Yeah. Well, with the clicks on that, because I know email services can break it down between simply opened an email versus like actually clicked on something within the email. So when you say clicks, is that they're actually clicking on a link to open something up, or is that they're clicking on it to open up the email to read it?
Good point, Mary Jean. It would be opens, not clicks.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's still good. you know?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, so they actually open the email to see the content of the email versus click on a link inside of the email.
okay.
So yeah, I'm talking about opens.
Okay. Well, I know you're not rushing this, and that's good. I think maybe just kind of now that we're all kind of on the same page, if you want to work on getting that list, and then reach out to them, I guess, if you've got a chance to see if they need to be added or if they, I don't, well.
Yeah, it's kind of a privacy violation.
Yeah.
If they unsubscribed and then say, we go and say to them, oh, you're on our list for unsubscribing, and why did you do that?
Right, because there are 2 boxes I have to click every time I add someone that says, did this person give you permission?
Yeah,
You know, along
that's
those lines.
That's right.
Well,
Yeah.
instead of assuming we need to add the 37 names, I guess maybe would a better way be to look at the 37 names against who all has submitted an application this year, and or like within the past, since maybe 2021 and 22, you know, as if maybe it's something that we actually did, if, you know, if there was a breakdown in getting them on subscribe versus if it was somebody who was we
Let's
have,
just look at the names first.
yeah,
Yeah, they could be silent keys that
Yeah.
people have stopped, or they've
Yeah.
gone in a nursing home, or, you know, or they're not mentally capable of looking at it anymore. You know, you've got a lot of people that are older. We have an older club membership. So, yeah, let's look at have somebody like Joe or whomever look at the names to see who it is.
yeah,
It may have moved.
Yeah, I can supply that, no problem.
good deal.
I don't think you've got a privacy issue of asking somebody, you know, we see that we have received a note to unsubscribe you, and we're just verifying that you don't want to receive the mailing.
I think what I don't know, Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, but from what I was gathering, it sounds like it's not, these folks have not necessarily unsubscribed. It's more, they're just, those email addresses are on our master roster, but they're not on the email list for Sparks.
Yeah, they're not in MailChimp, correct.
So it's not necessarily that they've, I mean, they may have unsubscribed, but we don't know if we dropped the ball with getting
Yeah.
him on there in the first place, or if they've unsubscribed.
Yes, that is
So
correct.
we don't know.
Right. Yeah, I have no way of knowing if they unsubscribed or did not unsubscribe.
Okay, all right,
'Cause-
that's reasonable then. Yeah.
Because I'm guessing, because so there's not a way on there to see specifically who unsubscribed.
No.
Okay.
Let's just get the
No.
list and we don't have to do any more discussion on it.
Yeah,
Wait until we get the list and then we can talk about it.
Yep. Sounds good.
All right. Well, thank you, Mike. I know that's taken a while to go through and pull and compare everything, but if it helps us get to send out more emails, then it'll be good. So,
Yep. And that is the reason that I want to try to clean it up, is that, it gives us an opportunity to reach out to the membership more if we would like to. Right now, I think that our cap is around 2,000 to 2,100 emails per month. So at the 661, that's only 2, maybe 3 emails a month. So, we don't usually send that many, but at least it gives us the availability to do so if necessary.
yeah. All right. Anything else from you, Mike?
Nope, just try to get me all the information, by Friday, please, so that I can put it in and try to get everything sent out for some reviews Friday night.
Did I write an article about the bus trip? asking
Sure.
people to send me an email if they're wanting to go?
You want to put it in the announcements? We can do that.
Yeah, I'll put it in the announcements.
Yeah, that would be good, Mr. Joe. No problem.
Okay,
Yeah, I already put your training stuff in, so it's already done.
okay.
Yeah.
You noticed I made quite a few changes on the early part.
Yes. Yep. I copied your stuff and I didn't copy the pictures because they don't usually come over very well.
Okay,
So,
that's-
I copied the text and then, pasted it back in there and then left the pictures like they were. So
that's
it
fine.
should look exactly like yours does anyway.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's
I
fine.
got that taken care of.
All right. One other thing I want to check. with You guys, let me. All right, so I know it's on the list that we were trying to kind of get going, I guess more of as a reminder on what to make sure we're discussing at what months, but we had talked about in the past about possibly trying to do something for Kids Day. I mean, I would love to see us do something, but with everything, it seems like the way everything has been going with everything, I guess, going from nothing from COVID to something, I'm almost leaning towards seeing if we wanted to wait a year, or I think, don't they have a winter one? Maybe we could do something in the winter, but I don't know if you guys think we should try to do something for Kids Day. We can, but what do you think?
I think wait.
I'd wait. The second or third weekend in October is the Scouts on the air.
Yeah, and this
in
Kids
October.
Day looks like it's right about Field Day.
Yeah. Yeah. And again, I know, we've talked about it before, among other things, like Carolyn's brought up, maybe doing, it was either like a scholarship or something like that. I mean, I would like to do more along that lines, but, I also know it's important to not overcommit.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but maybe, I don't know, maybe that's something we could do for the winter one, or just later in the winter, try to get some ideas going on what we could do. But okay. So, all right. So is there any objection to not participating in ARRL Kids Day this summer?
Put it off a year.
No.
Awesome. All right. Does anybody else have anything?
I was wondering, Joe, what items did you sell at Free Fest? What major items?
The 817, the Wolf River coil, some antennas. I don't remember now. Scott might remember more than me.
The diamond watt meter go?
Yes.
Okay.
The connectors.
A few connectors.
We had quite a bunch of stuff go.
Yeah.
You had 2 radios, Joe?
Well, the 891 did not go.
891, didn't you?
We sold several of the Morse code keys.
Right.
Yeah, we had the keyer that went away. That one guy came in and bought like 7 or 8 items.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
So
We got rid of some coax jumpers. Scott KM4RT bought jumpers.
Yeah, we got rid of most all the coax.
I mean, if you want, I can pull it up. I can show it to you.
we took home
No,
less.
that's okay.
We took
Sorry.
home less boxes. And the check has been deposited. So
All right.
just let you know, it should be hitting the bank soon.
Thanks, sir.
That's great.
All right, anybody have anything else tonight? All right, well, we are adjourned.
All right.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.